So I know we're all here to party, but I'm going to ask you to tilt your party hat to the side and put on an additional scientist hat, because we are all going to be scientists together right now. Are we ready?
Yeah.
That was kind of lame. Is everybody ready to be a scientist right now?
Yeah. 100%.
Thanks. That was much better. Okay. So, because it's a little tricky for us to bring our BioBus places now that we're all stuck at home, what we have been doing is BioBus at home. Many of you have probably seen this. One of our classes is called Discover at Home. So it's kind of the BioBus equivalent, except you don't have to be inside of our BioBus to do it. So a lot of you noticed that there is this strange shape behind me. And I think Latasha gave us a little hint as to what it is. Does anyone want to put it in the chat what that thing is behind me? Or you could say it out loud.
It's a brain!
A brain, yes. So what I have over here in my kitchen is a microscope. And I have a slice of a mouse brain underneath it. And this mouse brain is stained so that we could see all of the brain cells inside. And so that's what I had chilling behind me this whole time was a mouse brain. But I want to look at something that is alive, something a little bit more exciting. Leah has a live mouse in her room. I don't know if we're gonna look at that right now.
Is it a wild type?
Wild type? What I thought would be fun would be to check out some compost under the microscope. So what's compost? Who wants to unmute themselves and be brave and tell me what is going on in here?
Smelly stuff.
Isn't it like stuff that decays so that you can use it as fertilizer or like whatever?
Ooh, stuff that's decaying so I can use it as fertilizer. Lee says decomposition. Somebody said smelly stuff, but actually this doesn't smell.
It's like fancy dirt.
Fancy dirt? Well, if you can see, there is some dark stuff in here, but there's also other stuff in here. What do you see?
Food.
Ooh.
Food scraps.
Was that a part of a watermelon?
Yeah. My watermelon was going bad, and so I decided to put it to a better use. So what's going to happen to this watermelon over time? Ooh, Juliet says another way to recycle. Awesome. What's going to happen to this watermelon and these bits of leaves that are in here?
Gonna break down.
How?
Gonna decompose. Decompose.
But how does that happen?
Bacteria.
Bacteria. Anybody else do that?
I used to do it at one of my schools.
Yeah, totally. Bacteria are very good decomposers. But we find a lot of bacteria in the soil.
It says mold and worms in the chat.
Ooh.
Decomposers.
Decomposers. Would you all want to stick some of this compost under the microscope with me and try to figure out who is decomposing my watermelon?
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. So I took out kind of a chunk earlier, and it might be a little tricky for you to see. But, oops. I have some of this compost in here, and there's a couple critters moving around. And I'm going to put it under the microscope and we can check it out together. to use the top-down light on here so that we can see all of this yummy organic matter. Okay, whoa, there's a guy already. Oh, he hid right under that leaf. Okay, so let's just look around and see what we notice. I noticed that it is a little bit blurry. So here I can see some chunks of soil sitting here. This one looks like it's moving.
It looks like it's breathing. That's what I was just about to say too.
It looks like it's breathing. Why do you think that is? Ooh, moist dirt.
I'm looking at that, man. It's
Maybe something is underneath it. Should I try to move some of that dirt out of the way and see?
Sure.
All right, let's figure it out. Who's under here? Okay, ooh, I discovered a couple things under there. Okay.
Mm.
So,
You look like a ladybug running.
a ladybug? Ooh, I missed it. Where was it? Where'd it go?
Went under the bottom. Oh, there's a worm.
Okay.
Oh, lots of things
So
moving.
yeah, there were a couple of little wormies under there
Yep.
that were moving that dirt.
Miranda from the chat says, I think we see bugs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What kind?
Maybe beetles? Maybe that's what that ladybug-like thing was.
Yeah. Looked like it.
A little dark. What's cool about these worms is I can kind of see what's inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you see that yellow stuff inside? What do you think that could be?
Waste.
Can you see that again?
Waste.
Waste? Ooh. I don't know.
Someone
Why
said-
would the waste
someone in
be
the chat-
yellow?
Someone in the chat said watermelon.
Amy, it could be watermelon. But why is it yellow?
Maybe it's being broken down by
Yeah,
any
I guess our food does
worms.
change quite a bit. Here's a bigger worm. We can
Mm.
see that has the same thing. Oh, she's hiding.
I saw a question in the chat. What you can eat? Can what you eat affect your waist? Did we answer that question? From Ruby.
It could.
What maybe what the
What you eat can affect your waist. Ooh, yeah.
The same way with human.
Yeah, when you eat it, does it come out looking the same?
No.
So maybe that yellow stuff could be some waste. But
That's
maybe
a really good question though. Compost science, right? Ashley, why are there certain things you don't feed your worms?
What do you think it would be good to feed worms? I'm mostly feeding them like fruits and veggies and is there anything that you think worms don't eat?
Meat.
Ooh. Why not?
But some worms come out of meat.
Oh, some worms come out.
Ooh.
Oh, I see more of that yellow stuff up here.
Someone said plastic.
Plastic. Ooh, that's really interesting. Because when I first started this, I stuck a plastic fork into my compost.
It's pooping.
It
Yeah.
hasn't changed at all. Wait, the worm was pooping?
It looked like it. It looked like it. Brown.
How'd you know?
Because it was brown and it came out and it's
That's so cool.
Like on cue, you trained your worms, Ashley.
Some
What?
friend to poop behind your back.
I know, right? I
That
found
one
another
looks,
critter.
yeah, that one looks kind of lethargic.
It's pretty surprising because they usually run around pretty quickly. They're hard to catch.
Really? Ooh. Oh, there it goes. Legs moving.
What do you notice about it? Who wants to make some observations?
It looks like it's upside down.
Mmm.
It looks like it's got, oh,
Oh, there it goes.
it's not a worm.
That guy's not a worm.
No, it's not.
Ooh, and there's that red creature that we saw before. I don't know if you were
Yeah.
able to see it.
Needs to be a little lighter.
Yeah. Yeah, I think these guys are hiding because they don't usually have big bright lights on them.
Hmm.
Ooh, this is something pretty interesting. Does anyone have an idea what that could be? That little circular thing?
Looked like a grape at first.
It does kind of look like a grape. It's a lot tinier though. If I stick my finger under here, that's the tip of my finger. It's taking up the whole screen. So we're pretty zoomed in right now.
Mm,
An onion, it totally does look like an onion.
that too.
Fertilizers, a plant. How could we tell what it is?
Touch it.
Ooh, seed's a good question. How could we tell what this is? Just by looking at it. Dissect it? We could,
Could be
but
more.
then I might kill it. So I don't know if I want to do that right now.
Christine says a mushroom.
Ooh. Should I try to zoom in and see what I notice about it?
Mm-hmm.
We need a field guide. Okay.
Oh yeah, Vera says we can turn it over.
We could turn it over, totally.
Hi, Rosemary.
Mm.
Oh,
Zoom in on this guy.
Could be more poop.
Could be more poop.
It's not moving.
It doesn't look like it's moving.
But it does look like a sack.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder if I can see any movement up here.
Vera also said you should see if it's attached to anything.
Ooh, that's super cool. So maybe look and see kind of this way. There is a thing next to it, but I don't know if it's attached, right?
Mm.
But it's very tiny.
Ashley, is that big enough to see with your eyes, or do you need a microscope to see that?
This I can see with my eyes, but it's super tiny and a little tricky for me to find, but I will do it. Okay. So I moved it around a teeny bit.
It has an opening.
Yeah, it has a little opening up here. Do you see that hole?
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone ever seen anything like this? It does look grape-like, but a very tiny grape.
Yeah.
While we were observing that, this friend has crawled onto my finger.
Oh, a snail. You're killing it.
He's not dead.
You killed it.
It is a really solid show.
Yeah.
If I had a quarter for every snail I've dropped, that was a soft landing. That's beautiful, Ashley. Where did you find that?
I found this on the sidewalk in Harlem.
Wow.
I know, it's a little cutie.
So
And while I was trying to maneuver the microscope, he just crawled on my finger.
And people eat that. Ugh.
I'm gonna pop this guy under the microscope and see what we notice about him. That was a very gentle landing, don't worry.
So good. Oh,
Mm.
Agreed, Fran. Very strong snail. Resilient.
Very strong snail.
Mm.
What a cutie.
Totally.
Mm.
You see the patterns on it?
Like ridges.
Yeah. And it hasn't really moved from its spot. It just stretched its head way out.
Does it have a bug on it?
A bug where?
Towards the back?
Over here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, no, I didn't see it. Okay.
I wonder if that, huh. It does have a little spot on it. I wonder
Yeah.
if something is growing on
Ashley, can you show everybody my favorite snail experiment?
it. Yes, I can. All right, you gotta get a good
Sorry I'm late, by the way.
view of the eyeball. Do you want to explain your experiment?
One thing.
Okay. Well, one thing that I always think is kind of interesting is how like different animals and humans included like respond to stimuli and how we like protect our body. So like one thing that I think is kind of cool is like, you know, if I got my finger and I went to poke you in the eye and I went like that, what would everyone do? And you can just like
That's right.
just respond with like doing it. Like pretend I'm, you know, pretend this is my real finger.
I mean, well, I'd probably just move away before you could even do it.
Close
Yeah,
your
maybe you
eyes.
feel away. I saw Pamela covering her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I just go before you
Turn
could
your
even
eyes,
do it.
close your eyes. Yeah, and I
Mhm.
think, you know, eyes are super important for all animals. So I guess it'd be kind of interesting to see what a snail does.
Yeah, so see these really long things, they kind of look like antennas, but on the end they have a little dot.
Mhm.
Those are the eyeballs. So I'm gonna see what happens if I try to poke this guy in the eye. What do you think is gonna happen?
Close
Pull
up.
away.
Move
It'll
away.
curl up, it'll close up.
Close up.
Okay,
Someone just scurried by.
exploring right now.
Not a bug.
Actually, this is hard on your microscope because of how zoomed in you are. I'm sorry.
No,
Snail.
it's okay. It's also a very big snail.
Didn't know you had tickets to the snail rodeo, did you, folks?
No rodeo. Oh, look at that eye though. Okay, come here, friend. We're gonna do an experiment. Okay. Nope. Okay.
Oh, there's an eye.
There's an eye.
Throw a thumbs up every time you see an eye. Ready, set.
This is tricky. This is a very active snail. He's probably
Jeff,
trying to get away from this lady that dropped me.
yeah, and Jeff in the chat suggested that it's possible that it's evading the light because it thinks it will dry out.
Ah, that's a really good idea. So in
Mm-hmm.
a way, we are seeing it respond to a stimulus.
Mm-hmm.
Do snails have pupils in their eyes?
Yeah.
Right now,
What is the
everyone here
pupil?
is a snail pupil.
You're a
Wah, wah.
But what's a pupil?
Black hole.
The hole in the eye?
Mhm.
Not like a black hole, but you know.
Yeah, this is a little trickier. Ian, I don't think I'm gonna
I'm sorry, Ashley. I give you too hard of a task.
Maybe I can just tap it on the head and see what happens. It didn't
Oh, it's
care.
turning to get you.
Ooh,
Ooh.
did you see it go in and out?
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Ooh. Actually,
I don't think he wants to be poked in the eye.
Yeah, probably not. Probably doesn't want to be poked in the eye.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
else should we look for?
What other animals are in there?
Oh.
Oh, a little white bug scurry by.
mm-hmm. I think.
Look like silk bugs.
Hmm.
Maybe we can find it, Ashley.
Oh, cool. That's the shadow of his eye.
the snail can't get out of the spotlight.
I know. Diva Snail.
The snail.
So for anyone just joining, Ashley is exploring what is it, Ashley? This is your home compost bin?
Exactly.
Yeah, and all the living things inside.
Ashley, what's the magnification you're looking at? I mean, can you give a comparison for me?
Sure. So I want to show you what's going on the microscope over here. So each time I see something that's interesting, say this white shiny spot, I might want to look at that. I can turn these knobs in the front and these zoom us in. But then do you see what else is going over here?
Like it's blurry.
Yeah, it's a little blurry.
Blurry down.
So we can use this knob
That's better.
in the back. That helps us to focus it. And so this microscope has some knobs on the side that tell you how zoomed in you are. When I zoom way in, it tells me. So right now, I am magnified about 40 times. So it's 40 times bigger.
So anything was 1 inch is now like 40th of an inch. I mean, sorry, anything that's 1 inch is now 40 inches. There was just
There you
Yeah.
go. You just went the other way.
there was all silence, and I'm like, what? I was like, oh.
Let's see. Oh, I forgot to tell you what this guy was because there was a pooping creature. But this is a worm egg sac. So that is how baby worms are made.
Whoa.
And sometimes if the outer layer is moist enough, you can see through that layer and see little squirmy worms inside. So I guess that means my worms are happy in their compost if they're making babies.
Could I have some of your baby worms once they hatch?
Sure.
Awesome.
How many come out of one egg, do you know?
Oh, I have no idea. That's a really good question.
I would imagine it's more than one.
Yeah, it's not just one, it's a couple, but I don't know exactly how many.
I can raise my hand for you.
Does anybody else know?
What species, do you know what species of worm you have?
Yes, these are red wigglers. They are very good at composting.
Ife, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I didn't even know that worms were born from eggs.
I know, right? I didn't either. I thought that some of these white things inside might be eggs, but apparently they lay them externally. So I don't know what those are. But what's really neat.
Not on its back.
Yeah. Now that we
What?
have a good view of this guy, you can really see all of that stuff inside. Do you see all the different colors?
Is that dirt on the back of him?
Is that waste?
Oh,
Well, there was some dark spots inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the stuff on the back of the worm, is that dirt?
Probably. Let me separate out that worm so we can just get a look at it because it looks pretty neat.
While you do that, a quick note. Apparently, one of those egg sacs hatches about 20 worms, and they produce 2 or 3 of those cocoons every single week.
Cool. Thanks, Emily. Okay, reason why they're called red wigglers is because they are very, very wiggly and a little tricky to pick up. But I got one. Woo. Okay. So let's check out this guy and see what parts we notice inside. It's a little
Pre-event.
Rosemary says they're good fishing bait because they're also good wrigglers.
Wait,
Ah,
this is just a pre-event. What's a pre-event?
the pre-event.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the wormies, the pre-event.
And what's the breakout rooms? Like, has anyone been assigned to a room? Like, is it just because I'm late or something?
No, no worries, Ife. I think we're going to be assigned 2 rooms in a little bit because the reason we are all here is to celebrate our interns and our junior scientists. So our junior scientists are going to be in those breakout rooms showing off the projects that they've
Kids
done.
can join too, though, right?
What was that, Ife?
Wait, so can kids join too, though?
Of course, yeah. It's just the junior scientists are going to be presenting, and then you can ask questions.
All right.
And I think, has every junior scientist been a counselor for Ife in one of our camps last summer? Basically everyone, right?
Yeah, Ife, all your counselors are here.
Yep.
Do you all want to see where the where the snail has ended up?
Yes.
I don't know if you can see it. It's on. Do you see the bump right here?
Oh, I think it's trying to steal. Oh wait, the snail's on the microscope.
Yes, she's on an adventure, everyone.
I just realized the snail up there.
Okay. Does anybody have any final requests about the worm or the snail that's on an adventure, or maybe the roly-poly that we saw? Any last things that you want to really zoom into?
Wait, but what was the yellow stuff? Did we solve that? Did we solve
I
that
don't think
mystery?
we solved it. Does anybody have any ideas? We thought maybe food, but would food be kind of just like out floating? Where would your food be?
I think the yellow stuff, if I remember from what I did in my classroom, sometimes when you pick up the worm, they sort of squirt that yellow stuff. It's like a defense for them.
Kind of like how a skunk sprays stink juice or whatever.
Even the stuff that's inside? Those
Well,
they look
I
like
know it
little
comes
yellow
out yellow. I don't know what's inside. But.
Okay, but maybe if we see some yellow juice on the outside.
Right.
Did Pule have an idea of something we can explore?
I have
a question.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Who has a question?
Me.
Go for it.
So, are we how many breakout rooms are there going to be, and are we going to be able to go to all of them?
Sasha, how many breakout rooms are there going to be?
Oh, I don't know if Sasha's here.
Oh,
I'm here. Hey guys. There are going to be, I think, 8 breakout rooms, and you can't be in all of them because they're happening at the same time. So you are going to be randomly assigned unless you change your name in Zoom right now to include the name of the intern or junior scientist that you'd like to be with, and then we'll assign you to that room. We are going to record them though, so if you're really excited to see all the presentations, because I know they're going to be amazing, we'll send out the recording and you can watch them all after.
So I was just looking at this worm, and well, he has a little friend that he's carrying around with him, so that's cool.
Dalmatian worm.
Yeah, do you see the spots inside?
Wait, are those just spots, or what is that inside?
What is that?
What do you think?
Oh, food?
This one is constipated.
I mean, I'm guessing the half on the front is food, and the half on the other half is something else.
Why would it only be on one half?
Because it got digested, and by something else, I mean poop.
I see. So the top half is the pre-digested stuff, and the bottom half is the poop. I feel ya. Possibly. What I was also noticing was that
Like a shrimp.
the yellow stuff looks like it's at the top and the bottom, which is interesting, right? Do you see it on the end here? Come here, little friend.
Mara asks, are we starting soon? Yes, we are. Oh my goodness. The mite is fully riding on the
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is like microscopic insect adventure time.
Mm-hmm. To prep your brain. Yeah, symbiotic relationship. Surfing. It's worm surfing.
Worm surfing.
Super cool if we could surf worms.
Rodeo. It's a rodeo or it's surfing. Mm-hmm. And then the part of the session where the junior scientists are going to be the ringmasters, ringleaders. Yes.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna shift to the main event. I know that it looks like I was missing something exciting there, but you guys can catch me up.
Okay, thanks for playing with the microscope with me, everybody.